Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And first of all, I just want to thank the committee for inviting me here tonight. It was such a special event and very honored to be standing in front of all the audience tonight. Thank you, Jane, for referring me to Alina and Solly, and thank you, Vicky, as well. I just want to share my story tonight, hoping that all of you here will leave with some inspiration, and if you are overcome any obstacle in life that you find it quite calming and looking forward for that light at the end of the tunnel. I hope I'm not speaking so fast, because when I get nervous, I speak faster than a rocket. So hopefully I'm not doing that tonight. My name is Pham. I came from Vietnam. I'm not too sure if most of you are aware of the 1980 refugees, the boat refugees that left Vietnam. I was one of them. I left Vietnam with my brother and my nephew. My parents, both of them passed away when I was very little. My father passed away 3 months before I was born, and then 8 years later, my mom decided to join him too. So she left four of us, three of my brothers and myself. So the communists took over Vietnam in 1970s, and my father died during that war as well. 2 years later, along with my oldest brother, he also died during that war. In 1982, that's when one of my brother, his wife has a fishing boat. Their family was fishermen. So they decided to leave Vietnam, escape Vietnam, along with some other people who has the money to pay for to escape Vietnam as well. I was very fortunate. We were very, very poor. After my mother passed away at the age of 8, that was the end of schooling for me. My brother was not able to put me into school, so I was most of the time babysitting for them while they were working to make an income. So in 1982, we left Vietnam, and we were one of the very lucky boat that arrived in Indonesia after 4 days and 4 nights. At that very last day, we ran out of food and drink, and luckily we found our destination. At that time, United Nations was set everywhere, surrounded by Vietnam, to rescue all the boat refugees. So Indonesia was one of them. We stayed there for 16 months. During that time, the government said that if anybody who has father as a soldier or anything to do with the army, we were suggested to apply to United States, because that's what United States was offering to us. So immediately my brother at the time applied to US, but because there was more documentation needed at the time of the application as to which group our father was a soldier for, we couldn't do that. So our application was denied. So our heart was broken, and then Canadian was the next one, but we were so scared to apply to Canada, because at the time, everybody said, don't go to Canada because they only work for 6 months, and the other 6 months is all snow, you have to stay home. And it's so cold. So my brother said, oh my God, what are we gonna do? So with the open arms, we applied to Canada, hoping, crossing our fingers that this is our next home. We did get accepted to Canada with the government-assisted program. We arrived here in London To be exact, it is 30 years and 3 months that we arrived in London. We haven't moved anywhere. It was very difficult at first when we arrived here because I stopped school since I was 8 years old, so I think I was about grade 2. Here I was at the age of teenager, ready for high school. I have to learn everything from the first grade combined with everything else, a new language, a new culture, and everything I have to go through in grade 9. So instead of having a family to come home to and share all the obstacles, I was forced to do it by myself. The government was very, very nice. ESL, which is English as second language, all the teachers was great. All the teachers, they welcome immigrants and refugees, so they were there to help me. And of course, I have to learn night and day to overcome all of those obstacles. And fortunately, because I was very, very determined, this is going to be my new home, this is going to be my new life, I have to overcome all of these. Fortunately, within that 4 years, I graduated HBBO Secondary School with the honor student, and also was the winner of the Ernie Metavis Award recipient that was outstanding of 18 secondary school at the time, so that was such an honor. And from there, I went to Fanshawe to continue on with my business accounting program. I was graduated from there as well and got married. I'm sure all of you will realize that when you graduated from school, all the businesses require you to have experience. If you look in the paper, minimum 2 years experience of in accounting. How are you going to find that experience when you just graduated? Don't give up. I was volunteering at a certified general accounting firm, but at the time there is an assistant program for new graduate. You work for minimum wage, but the employers paying a portion of it, and the other side, the government is paying for it. Don't feel bad just because you just have your degree and here you are working for less than minimum wage in order to earn your experience. Don't give up, go for it, because that's the only way that you're going to get through the door. So with this company, Certified General Accounting Firm, I was working for 12 years with this company. At that time, the end of that 12 years, I had my first 2 kids, and then the second 2 arrived. At that time, I was determined to do something that's different. I was at 35 at the time with 4 kids. What am I going to do? I went back to school with the support of my husband and the family. I took another chance to go back and do something that I really love and passionate about. I went to back to school to take aesthetic. This job, because I was so passionate of doing it and be able to make women feel confident, feel pretty about themselves. By the end of my 4 months certification, I was ready to work on clients at the time. So when I graduated from the esthetician school, I purchased Fantastic Nails, which was an existing, normal, typical nail salon, which I was determined to turn it into a destination salon. That salon has been around for 9 years. My focus was to deliver the best products, brand names, customer service, everything that we need at that salon, we have it. For the first 3 years, it was very, very difficult because as an owner, everybody goes through that first 3 years. When the business started making money, that's when I determined to give it back to our community. Our salon has been raising money for CIBC Run for the Cure for the last 6 years. We just finished our annual fundraiser in October. This year, we donated $6,200 to breast cancer. So over the 6 years, we make almost $40,000 just for breast cancer alone. On top of that, to Children's Hospital, to Make-A-Wish Foundation, to Men's Mission, to Canadian Feed the Hungry, we donated weekly to different charity fundraiser for the silent auctions. And there is no regret for making that second career at all. I would do it all over again. My goal is to see my 4 kids successful. 2 of them already in university. One of them just finished last year with the undergrad in psychology, and the other one is in her 3rd year applying for med school in Ottawa. And I have 2 little ones at home. My goal is to be able to hopefully one day keeping giving back to the community, hoping that one of the business out there start seeing that why are you keep giving? We are only a nail salon and very, very small, not rich. People asking us, you must be so rich, you have so much money to keep giving it. What do you get in return? My answer to them is, I give with my heart. I have no expectation in return. And I don't care whether I get any customers from it or not, because that's not what I go for at the beginning. When you start giving back, it feels great. The returns of that giving back is for you to have a successful business, to have a healthy, happy family. Your kids are doing well in school, and that's my gift of return. And I wish that all of us here tonight will have the same successful story that all of us are having tonight, and that always look forward. There's always light at the end of tunnels, and never give up. Thank you so much.